It's been more than 6 weeks since I found out my dragon hive has debilitating varroa mites. Now it's time to take off the treatment, and I hope that it worked. Otherwise, this hive might be done for. The last time I tested my hives for mites, my phoenix hive, which has historically been very weak and needed lots of help, surprisingly and thankfully, only had 1 mite out of 300 bees. That's extremely low, so it didn't require any treatment. However, my dragon hive didn't do as well, and it had 18 mites per 300 bees, a 6% infestation rate. Most beekeepers and treatment instructions agree on a 3% threshold. Anything above that, and you should attempt to treat for mites chemically. I've chosen Apivar strips for my method of treatment. That's what's typically recommended when the temperature exceeds 90 degrees. Here in Central Texas, we get over 100-degree days throughout September. And even now in mid-October, we continuously get mid-90s daily. I had to wait 6 weeks for the Apivar strips to do their job. I placed the Apivar strips in the bottom brood box where the bees walk all over the strips. The chemicals get on the bees, and more importantly, the chemicals get on the mites, so they fall off and die. Completing the treatment is as easy as removing these white strips from the hive and throwing them away. The part that makes me nervous is next. I need to see if the treatment actually worked or not. If I still have too many mites, I'll have to do another treatment, and it's getting late in the season for that. If they still have these mites in the winter, they're much less likely to survive. Testing is straightforward, but not for the faint of heart. I once again need to kill a few hundred bees for the good of the colony. I get my container partly filled with rubbing alcohol, get my box ready to shake bees into, and select a frame that has brood, but not my queen, or I will have a really bad day. Now I need to get a good sample of bees in my box and act quickly to put them into the container with alcohol. Then close it up quick and give it a shake. Now I check the bottom to see how many mites I see. I tell you, I did not want that result. Now I'm really worried about this hive. It has historically been so strong. I've stolen brood and honey from this hive twice to keep the phoenix hive going, and now it's the dragon hive that's suffering. I have to give it another treatment of Apivar, and I have to wait 6 weeks for it to work its magic. As I've shared with you before, I'm not very patient, so I really hope it works this time. Now that the dragon hive is done, I'm going to check out the phoenix hive to make sure it's doing okay. When I tested it 6 weeks ago, it only had 1 mite for 300 bees, which isn't bad, so I hope it hasn't gotten worse. But you can transmit mites from one hive to another, and I did take 2 frames of honey from the dragon hive and put it in the phoenix hive, and those frames did have a lot of bees, so yeah, I might be in trouble. Let me tell you, what a day it has been. I came out here to hopefully test my hive to make sure that the Apivar strips have actually worked and that my hive is nice and healthy. And instead I find out that I have 2 hives with varroa mites infested, and one of them I can't find my queen. That's super disappointing. And on top of it all, the bees are quite angry with me, and when I was messing with my camera, they stung me on the hand because I took my glove off and gave them the opportunity. I also lost one of my microphones because I was trying to swat away the bees and my microphone went flying. And guess what? I can't find it, so I must have flung it pretty far. On top of it all, here I am in my car, running away from the bees that won't leave me alone no matter how far away I walk. And I'm pretty sure one of them is in the car too. I can hear them. Testing and treating for varroa mites is part of ongoing maintenance for beekeepers. You should not ignore it. It can lead to debilitating diseases that can completely and quickly wipe out a hive. Let's keep our fingers crossed that the 2 hives beat the varroa mites and come back stronger and healthier than ever. I'll see you next time on Faewood Acres.